What's up, everybody? My name is Chris Angel, your co-host here for the Inner Health Project with your host, Hannah Goette. Hannah, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. We're talking about a painful conversation today, a painful topic, which is pain. Pain is a painful topic.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
But
I think it's something that a lot of people deal with. If I think about my own life for a minute, I can think there are things about pain that I'm not present to. Like, I know it's there, but I try to block it out and go on with my life. And so I actually never deal with the pain that I have. And I know today you've kind of got 5 things for us to sort of rethink our mindset around pain. So I thought maybe dive in with number 1.
right, yeah, let's change the way we think about pain, because a lot of times people have a bad feeling towards it. Like it
It
can
hurts.
be really stressful. It can, it can really change your mood and hinder you. But it's also, let's just change the way we think about it. And it's kind of a way for your body or for your emotions to tell you that there's something going on. It's a feedback for you.
Yeah.
So it's not always a bad thing. You need to know so you can become aware of things and make changes.
I can remember not that long ago, right now at the time of this recording, we're in the summer, but in the winter, I was throwing back a good 3 or 4 whiskeys a night, right? I know, I saw your eyebrows raised just then. I know. And I think it's easy in life to get in a pattern. And what I started to notice was as I went to bed, my legs would ache. They would ache, right? And my knees, my feet. Yeah. And I remember thinking, I had this intuition, intuition. It was just like I knew it was the whiskey. I knew it was the alcohol. And I'm like, dude, you need to stop drinking that much alcohol. And then I would just put it off. And I keep drinking 4 whiskeys and I go to bed with achy joints and legs. Hey, right. Dude, stop drinking. And so then I was just like you said, like it was feedback. It was feedback. And actually I knew if I was listening enough, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, there was a bigger issue than the leg pain, something that was motivating you to drink and numb out something else. So
yes. Oh, good for you, Hannah. Yes. Okay. So here comes the easy chair, right? Like, no, but you're right. Like there was some I think it's just some space of like not knowing what I wanted to do. And I was bored. And there are ways I think for everybody, it's different why you numb or medicate the thing. But I think for me, it was part boredom and I don't know what else I want to do. So I just kept myself busy with stuff, right?
Right.
Stuff as in drinking, stuff as in like not caring and all that.
Yeah. So the subtle things, the painful or uncomfortable subtle things that we might not pick up on, I think it will manifest its way like it did for you into a physical pain. Yeah. Like the leg pain. Yeah. So if we aren't paying attention as closely as we should be, it's going to come back towards us. It's going to come in another way. It's going to show up. Yeah. So.
I think that's the thing I love about, it's so cool when I get to talk to energy workers or people that work with bodies. Like it's so cool because you actually get to see the physical manifestations of stuff. And as professional and kind as most of you are about like not like having a very private conversation with us, like, hey, dude, you should probably stop doing that. Like most people are very gracious and generous and whatever about that, but you get to see it all the time. And I think you guys have a different perspective on pain than most of us living with it.
Right. I mean, I like to go like from the body, from the concrete, what you can feel, and then kind of work backwards from there. So if somebody's having like really bad shoulder pain issues, it's kind of like, well, what are you doing every day that could be contributing to that? Do you sit at a computer? Do you have bad posture? Or are you really stressed out? And that's where the stress just kind of accumulates in your body. Yeah. So kind of working backwards from, okay, these are your symptoms, but then let's look at your lifestyle and figure out what's going on that's adding to that pain. So.
Do you feel so in the instance of a shoulder pain thing, do you feel like it, like for me, it was going back to some more of an emotional state. Like I'm bored. And so I'm doing something that's then like drinking whiskey that's causing me to have these pains. But with somebody that has like a physical job and their shoulder is painful, is there some emotional thing happening, or is it just the taxation of having a physical job?
Well, I mean, everyone is different. So if it's a really physical job and
Yeah.
you're overusing those muscles and that shoulder, then it's probably due to repetitive stress.
Yeah.
But
like physical stress.
yes, yeah.
Right.
But if there's other factors that are contributing to your own wellness,
Yeah.
maybe you're not really taking care of yourself as well as you should be. So then you don't have as good a physical stamina as you could. So then that's manifesting in repetitive stress injury or just really sore, stiff muscles.
Right.
So yeah, there's physical things that we do, but there's also emotional things that contribute to our well-being and just the way we keep ourselves healthy.
Yeah. I could see somebody, let's say they have a physical job and they have pain because of just repeated physical stress on their muscles or joints, whatever. And so that's due to the job, and they don't actually go back and like recover or take care of, like get back to a place of health. And so, and that actually brings up the question for me, like, if you notice the pain, why aren't you doing something to correct it? And I suppose that could get into all sorts of other conversations like, well, I can't afford it, or I'm not worth it, or I don't have time for it, or whatever limiting belief we have about making it right or bringing some sense of power back into our body or our health would be an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah. If you're just ignoring it, or you're in pain and you don't want to address it, that's just going to add on to it. And then you have to think about, well, why aren't you addressing it? What is that underlying thought process that's keeping you from getting to the root problem?
Yeah, that is it. I don't care where you are experiencing pain or why you're experiencing pain, but I think most of us ignore it. I think that's the common thread, is we have pain and most of us ignore it rather than asking questions, because if it's a feedback mechanism.
Yeah, and our brains can only process so much at a time. So if I'm giving a client a massage and let's say they come in and they have shoulder pain, but we're going to do the whole body.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll say, I didn't realize that I was so sore in my low back, or I felt some tension in my hands. I mean, just the things that we aren't aware of every single day. And then once you bring awareness to that area, you kind of can be like, oh, well, I can now see why this problem is happening, or I can address it. So.
Right. That's so good. I think that's a good segue into the second thing about changing our mindset around pain, which is thinking of pain as an opportunity or a challenge to grow. Like, walk me through that a little bit.
Yeah. So when you have pain, and you don't do anything about it, ignoring it's not going to make it go away. Right. Obviously.
Right.
But if you stop and you observe what's going on, and you actually welcome the chance for pain to guide you and to show you what is in it, what's not balanced in your life, whether that be physically or emotionally or just your daily life. Like maybe you're working too much and you're not resting enough. Like those imbalances are showing themselves up to you, so you have the opportunity to make a change. So you can create a better life and a better lifestyle for yourself, so that you're not in pain. So
I think that's what I like about that too, is if most people were honest, there's another place in life they want to go. Like, most people aren't comfortable with the way it is, like, because I think we're wired to expand. I think we're wired to grow as human beings. Like, we're always looking for, like, what else do I want? What else do I desire? What other things do I want to create for my life? So I think that's good, because I think if your pain is this is the thing that goes back to the first part, your pain is a feedback mechanism, and it actually gives you an opportunity for growth because we all want growth.
Right. How can you create anything in the world, or just how can you enjoy the world if pain is crippling you and it's hindering you from becoming the person you want to be and growing? I mean, I do see a lot of people who are in pain, and it's like it takes over your whole body. It takes over your whole mood. It changes. It changes not who you are, but it changes the way you live and the way you present in the world.
Yeah.
So if you can figure out the root problem, the cause of it, that's going to help you grow and become a better person, and you'll be able to do and create what you want.
Yeah, it actually takes me to the third point, because I was just thinking, like, if I were to think about pain as a way for me to sort of to grow, it actually changes my entire experience of pain. And now I could actually be grateful for pain, which is the third point you had, which is how, being grateful for pain. Tell me about that though. How do we be grateful? Oh, I'm so glad that I'm in pain right now.
Well, for one, it lets you know you're alive, right? Like it's, you can't have light without dark. Like you have to have, there's this duality to the world, and a little bit of pain isn't going to kill you. We've all accepted the fact that when you go and you work out and you do a really good workout, you're going to be sore a little bit the next day. And we don't think of that as a bad thing. Yeah. So we are kind of grateful for it. We're like, yes, I know that I hit my limit and I did a good job and I feel good about it. So pain, it's you're going to have growing pains when physically or mentally or emotionally, when you are trying to elevate yourself to a higher level, you're going to have some discomfort because you're going to have to look at things that need addressing, that need to be changed, that you might have to change your mindset a little bit on things in order to grow. So pain is just another way for your body, the universe, God, your spirituality to let you know this is the track that you should change your track a little bit, or hey, I'm here to talk to you. So.
Yeah, because I think somewhere, maybe it's just Western culture, maybe, but there's this maybe expectation that we're not supposed to have pain, or pain is a bad thing. And so what we do is we medicate that. Like we'll give people pain relievers. We'll give people antidepressants or some things that relax us. We'll give our ADHD kids Ritalin. We'll give everybody these things to just like everybody chill out, so we don't have to feel anything. And I think that's sort of a newer thing that has popped up. But I think, to your point, like, pain lets us know that we're alive, and there is a gift in the pain if we can look for it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're numbing out pain, you're also numbing out other feelings and other sensations. You're numbing out life. And I know if somebody's in a lot of pain right now, and they might be kind of like, well, it is difficult to deal with pain. And I'm not saying don't use therapies to help you for relief. But while you're doing that, search for the cause of it, and keep questioning, and always be grateful that things are showing themselves up to you in this way. So
I love that. Let's go to number 4, which is be open to what comes up. So as I'm searching and I'm being grateful, and I'm like, okay, my shoulder hurts, but I'm going to try being grateful. I'm so grateful that my shoulder hurts because I'm alive. You say, look, be open to what comes up. What does that mean?
So if you're observing what's happening, and you're in the pain, and you're allowing it to guide you, don't judge what you might discover. It might reveal some things to you that you, like limiting beliefs that you had for quite a long time, and be happy and grateful that has come to the surface.
Yeah.
And just allow it to be there. I mean, you're not going to have the answers for everything right away, but I think just being open to letting things come to the surface, and let pain kind of guide you to those areas of your life where you need to address.
Yeah.
That's going to make your journey a lot easier, and it'll help you take the next step to discover, okay, well, what's the next thing I need to do in order to work through this pain? Maybe I need to seek out help from a professional, or maybe I just need to change how I'm working at work, or work less, or just take out more time for myself.
Yeah.
And whatever comes up, don't judge it, and just be open to new ideas and new possibilities.
I love that. I love that. That was really true for me. Like I gave my very personal share earlier in this call about, right, like just to notice that my legs were aching, and then to notice what came up was, dude, you're bored and you're afraid to take on the next big thing for you. And so you're distracting yourself this way, right? So that you don't have to step into what's next for you. I didn't know that, right? I could have just said like, oh, this is just a pattern I'm in, you know,
Right.
I'm just stuck. I'm just in a pattern. But to actually look was a real gift.
And I think you brought up something really important, is fear. Don't let that stop you from finding your path and going on your journey.
Yeah.
Because I think fear is what holds us back quite often. And for you to be able to work through that and address it, and now you're, on to other things, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, I think fear is one of the big. I mean, you tell me, because you deal with actual physical bodies more than I do, but I think fear can often manifest itself physically in your body, and I think a lot of us deal with fear. I think that's part of the human condition.
Well, right. I think we're just afraid. There's a lot of doom and gloom out there, and we're just afraid. Like once we feel some pain, like maybe it's physical. Oh, my health is suffering. Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Like, instead of, if we're coming from a place of fear, then we're unable to be empowered and take responsibility. Yeah. And then how can you even get better? How can you address the problem if you're too afraid to even, be aware of it or to go deeper. So,
I love that. I love that. Well, let's sort of move into the fifth step. Is there sort of like a challenge to listeners?
Yes, there is.
Number 5, the challenge. What is the challenge?
Well, I want to challenge listeners out there to just write down what your biggest pain point is right now, or obstacle in your life. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be an emotional thing, or it could be a relationship type thing. It doesn't have to be such a concrete, tangible pain point, but just write that down, what's bothering you right now at the moment. And then just reflect on why it's there, and why do you think it's coming up, and just sit with it and let yourself process for a little bit. And just kind of allow that discomfort and that disease just to come in a little bit and kind of guide you to where your next step should be in order to grow as a person and get through the pain. So
wow, that is so wise. That is so wise, because it takes something to let it come in, to let the disease come in, to be uncomfortable with what may show up. Like it's not comfortable to be open to what shows up, and then to have your intuition say, dude, you're bored and you're afraid to take on something bigger. And in that, there's a gift. And I think that's just, I love the idea of writing it down too. I think that's really smart. Yeah.
For me anyway, once I get things out on paper, I can kind of see it visually, and then it stops
Yeah.
repeating itself in my head.
Yeah.
So it's on paper. Okay, so now let me just sit with that issue that I have, and we'll go from there. So
yeah. So the challenge is to write down what pain you may be experiencing, physical, emotional, whatever the pain is, and then just see what comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, just be aware of it, and try not to ignore it, and maybe have some gratitude towards it, and say, well, thank you to whatever pain I'm feeling. Thank you for showing up in my life right now, and I'm ready for you to teach me something. So
I love that. I love too that as a massage therapist, you actually get to sort of help people through the healing of that pain from the physical level. I know that a lot of times that can actually be a catalyst into being more open to explore what is going on. Like sometimes the pain, like my mom's about to get a hip replacement, and sometimes the pain is just so big that it's hard to let my mind go into another conversation. Like, well, what is this for? Because I'm just so agitated by the pain itself.
Right.
So I know that things like massage can actually create a space for that inquiry.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if you need a hip replacement, I mean, not saying don't do it, and you're in that place where you need that remedy right now. But if it's muscular pain and it's not like an emergency type thing, you can get a massage, and you can be in a space where it will bring more awareness to that physical pain, and then it allows you to explore what caused it, and it brings just, if you follow your breath while you're in the session, and if you're open to allowing things to come up and come out, and just relaxing into it, that's a far better therapy and a way of addressing some of the pain you might have than just ignoring it. So
I love it. I love it. Hannah, any last minute wisdom for people about changing their mindset around pain?
Just that pain is there for you to explore, and I know it can be uncomfortable, and I know it's not easy. It's not easy for self-growth, but there's wisdom in discomfort. And when I think back on all the things that I've learned and all of the wisdom that I've gained, it's been through difficult times. It's been through hardships. And those are the times where I've learned the most and I've grown the most. So pain is just one aspect of that, and it will help you grow as a person, and it can teach you many things if you let it.
I love it. If people want to reach out to you, learn more about the Inner Health Project, or even book a massage with you, like where can people go to connect?
Yes, you can go to innerhealthproject.com, and you'll see all the blog posts, and you'll see the shows on there, and you can also contact me through that website as well.
For things like massage and et cetera.
Yes, there's a book now button on there, or you can give me a call.
Perfect. I love it. Awesome. Hannah, thanks for another great episode. We'll catch you in the next one. And until then, see ya.
Thanks, Chris.